Hello boys and girls, it is finally time to talk about F1 2020. We finally got a first trailer last week and it is absolutely stunning. So I can't wait to see what more they got in store for us. But we got some information, few bits and pieces that we're gonna talk about today. And I'm very excited for this game. And I'm gonna be sharing my opinion as well as the official text from Codemasters, so here we go. F1 2020 is the most comprehensive F1 game yet, putting players firmly in the driving seat as they race against the best drivers in the world. For the first time, players can create their own F1 team by creating a driver, then choosing a sponsor, an engine supplier, hiring a teammate and competing as the 11th team on the grid. Build facilities, develop the team over the time and drive to the top. So I want to take a second and talk about this for a little bit. This is the newest feature, the 11 team, and I think is absolutely brilliant. And I'm kind of surprised that this didn't come in earlier games of Codemasters, and it is such a big step forward in the right direction, I have to say. And you know, just the fact that you can own your own team and decide what kind of sponsors you can put on the car, make the livery, you know, the custom livery, as you know, as you want essentially, you know, hire teammates and manage, you know, do some managing in your team. I think it's just a brilliant step forward in the right direction, and I can't wait to see what they do with it because it's a completely new thing, never seen in an F1 game, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what we can do in the career mode with this. Second thing I want to mention, as I just saw a Racing Point, I want to talk about the cars themselves because we don't have an official F1 season started yet. So my question here is, how are they going to know which cars are going to be the fastest on the track? So this is kind of a guessing game for the Codemasters as well. So I'm assuming that a lot of the performance of the cars that you're going to see in F1 2020 will probably just be shifted over from F1 2019. I mean, to be honest, nothing really major will happen even in real life, except maybe Racing Point being a lot faster than last year. So from a little bit what we saw in Spain from the testing, we know that Racing Point is extremely fast. They call it the pink Mercedes, and it's for a good reason because that's basically a Mercedes car from the last year, and it is fast. I have to tell you, it is fast. So I can't wait to see what they do with the Racing Point in F1 2020. It'll be interesting to see if they're still kind of in the low midfield or if they're kind of pushed more towards McLaren, Red Bull. So yeah, so we have a couple of modes. We got new My Team mode. As we said, we can create a driver, be the 11 team on the grid. We have two new races in Hanoi and in Netherlands, in Zandvoort. So can't wait to see those. I've seen the Zandvoort, the track already kind of exists, but it was just modified to match the F1 standards. So, but yeah, I can't wait to see what Codemasters did with it. It'll be interesting to see how it looks graphically. Formula 2 obviously is back again, included. The other new thing that's available is shorter season lengths with options of 10, 16, or you can play a full 22 race season, which is kind of a win-win, I have to say. For some people that, you know, don't want to sit through 22 races and, you know, do all the testings and practice, you know, you can just choose, you know, 10 circuits around a year and, you know, be a champion. So we have Formula 2 is back again, of course. That's a good thing. We have 16 classic cars, and esports obviously is back as well. And if you already own an F1 2019 game, you have a 10% discount to a deluxe Schumacher edition of F1 2020, which I think is pretty cool. And the system requirements for the game, we're gonna talk about the minimum system requirements. F1 games are generally not that hard on your PC, so the minimum processor for running this game is Intel Core i3 or the equivalent version of AMD FX 4300. 8 gigabytes of RAM memory, NVIDIA GT 640 or AMD HD 750 graphics card with the DirectX 11. And you need a massive 80 gigs of space. I don't know what's the space storage for F1 2019. So those are the kind of main features that are going to be different in F1 2020. And we also have beta testing, guys, coming out soon. So I applied for that. And if I get selected, I'll be sharing my thoughts and reviews with you guys on the channel. So make sure you subscribe, stay tuned for more information on F1 2020. Well, what I personally would like to see is how big of a difference we're going to have in terms of graphics, because from my experience with F1 games, it was kind of every 2 years we kind of had a slight or a mediocre jump upwards in terms of graphics. So last 2 years the game looked pretty much the same. I think they used the same engine, and I'm really interested to see if the game is gonna still look the same-ish, or we're gonna have a massive jump towards a more realistic look. So that would be definitely interesting to see. Another thing I want to talk about is the online component of the game, and what I want to see for F1 2020 within the online is more stability in the lobbies. They really have to make sure that the lobbies are working correctly. For example, when you go into the multiplayer and you see the lobbies, and some of the lobbies will say, oh, okay, there's a lobby and everybody's waiting for the race to start, and when you join that lobby, they're already like 3 laps in the race and you cannot join. So you have to go back out again, back to the main menu. That's the thing. You have to go back to the main menu and back again to search for a lobby that you can actually race in and not have to wait for 10 minutes for the race to be finished. So that's just one little thing, but there's so many different little things, like with connection issues and stuff like that. So I hope that online component will be fixed and sorted so that we can have more amazing racing. So that's it, guys. That was just a short preview of what to expect in F1 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.